calling all misfits, rebels, leaders, and teachers, welcome to the one place where the only way to fit in is by standing out, where big goals are met with even bigger action, and where we talk through then tackle all things entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Kelsey Knudsen, and this is the Get Shit Done podcast. Welcome to the Revolution.
Your systems suck. But here's the cool thing. It doesn't have to be that way. Today, I'm going to walk you through how you know your systems are a weakness in your business, and more importantly, what the heck to do about it. So here's 3 reasons that your systems suck. These are symptoms that are popping up, things that if you're honest and you look at your business, you're like, yeah, that sounds like me. Number 1, do you dread writing proposals? You get a new client, you're excited, of course, to take care of that person, but then you have to go through the monotony of what's included, how much should I charge for this, writing out the email manually every time. You dread writing proposals because you're manually doing something that doesn't have to be a manual process. How else do you know that your systems suck? Number 2, you avoid looking at your finances. And if we're honest, you avoid doing it because you don't know how. The idea of tracking numbers, KPIs, looking at your finances, you know you should be doing it. If you're honest with yourself, you don't really know what to do once you dig into your QuickBooks or log into your bank account. Number 3, is this you? What are KPIs? Maybe for you, your KPIs are scrolling Instagram and looking at the dashboard, or logging into your bank account every day and just kind of staring at the number there. But you don't have a real process or way of tracking KPIs, and you don't really know what is going on in your business. If you relate to any of those 3, then congratulations. I think we can all admit that your systems could use a little bit of an overhaul. But that's okay. I'm going to walk you through exactly what to do about it, because this doesn't have to be your forever. I have 5 tips on how to unsuck your systems. Let's jump on in. Number 1, block off a full day on your calendar to work on your business. I know it sounds simple, but you would be amazed at how many people don't do this. And it's something I have become obsessed with. And it's the one thing that has helped move the mark forward in creating new offers, in cleaning up my systems, in taking my content to the next level. All of that is happening because I have 1 day a week. And right now I'm actually grounded. I have 2 days most weeks where I do no meetings, no notifications. I turn everything on airplane mode, depending on the vibe. Sometimes I put on classical music. Sometimes it's some like F bitches get money kind of hype up music. All that to say, it's a very focused time. And I think that having that 1 day a week where you can really focus your time working on your business is crucial. And guess what? Now we have a task to put on that day. And that task is cleaning up your system shit. What if, imagine this world. You're listening to this podcast today. You look at your schedule next week and you block off a full day just to look at your systems and identify which ones need a little bit of a refresh. And what ones, if you're honest, could you take the time and create a process for if you just had like 2 hours of uninterrupted time? So tip number 1 on what to do to unsuck your systems, block off a full day to do this and audit and do it and put it on your calendar and do it and stick to it. Number 2, I want you to brain dump all parts of your business that requires a system. That could be everything from content to creation to, onboarding a new client to maybe you have a podcast like me to a blog or a newsletter. It could be things like how often you want to check in with your people. Anything in your business that would benefit from a system because it's something you replicate and duplicate often. Write out all of the things that require a system. And this is what you're doing on that day you already blocked off. Number 3, then once you have that big list of everything in your business that needs a system, whether it exists or it doesn't exist, number 3, then you're going to rank order them. And I want you to rank order the things that produce revenue are higher on the list versus the things that are brand new and don't produce revenue yet. What do I mean by this? So say you're doing this exercise. You're like, Kelsey, I got it. I blocked off the day. I made my whole brainstorm list. And maybe one of your things on the list is client onboarding, right? Let's be real. You don't really have a process. Okay. Because client onboarding is part of them buying a service from you, which is probably one of your core offerings. That's going to be higher on the list than maybe launching a podcast for the first time. Catch my drift? So be brutal. Be really honest with yourself as you're going through this exercise and rank order these steps in the things that are more revenue producing, because that's what you're going to tackle first. Then step 4, here's what we're doing. We are writing out every minute detail that needs to happen for that system or process. I'm going to use onboarding because I think a lot of us do some version of that within our business. So if you go through this exercise, you do your brain dump, you rank order them, and number 1 high priority is onboarding. Congratulations. That's what we're tackling first. You're going to write out every painful, tiny little detail that goes into onboarding. From adding them into our project management tool to sending an invoice. Maybe you send a welcome gift. Maybe they get a welcome email. I want you to write out every single step that needs to happen for that system to stand on its own 2 feet. And you're going to do that for that entire brain dump list that you created. And here's the deal. As you're going through this, you may realize one day's not enough. Maybe one day you're just creating a brain dump list. Maybe a whole separate day, you're writing out the step-by-steps. And maybe a whole another day, you're executing on it. You're deciding what to delegate to your team, or you're deciding what to put in Asana or Airtable or project management tool to execute on this thing. Be ruthless. This is the stuff that's going to clean up and just simplify your life, but it takes this upfront work to make it happen. Then step number 5, you're going to write out all of the necessary email templates, and you're going to seek out the right tech to support these templates. Sometimes it may be, I send this email periodically. Maybe I just need to have it like pre-typed and saved in Gmail. For the podcast, we have guests on the show. I don't know if you know this, but we have had hot seat coaching. We have guest experts that come on, and we have a whole A to Z process of normal podcast flow. Okay. But when we have a guest on, that's a different podcast flow. And so we go into that podcast flow. And part of that, there's a couple emails that we need to send to whoever's coming on the show, just so they know what they're getting into, right? And crazy theory, we actually just have those typed and saved in Gmail. And even though it's not like a huge tech change, it does help having that one place where we just know we follow a checklist. Oh, time to send the reminder email for them to come on Kelsey's podcast. Okay, great. So when we're writing these email templates, the solution and the home base for these templates may just be in your Google Drafts folder, and that's fine. Or as you're writing them, you may realize wow, I need a more dynamic and robust email marketing system. Okay, awesome. Now you have the tools to know what to go seek out and why. And I just find it's going to be so much more beneficial for you. And the last thing, after you're done with these email templates, then you're going to go through this exact process for all of those different systems that you listed. So you're going to have that whole list that you brain dumped of different things that need a system. You're going to go through, write out all of the step-by-steps, write out the emails that need to exist, and then rinse and repeat until the process is done. Here's the thing. You're listening to this and you're probably like, wow, this is really helpful, but I'm still overwhelmed and I don't know where to start. Or maybe you're listening and it's hard for you to take what I'm saying into your ears right now and execute on that clearly. I have the solution for you. I would love to invite you to join me and some like-minded business owners inside my new offer. It's called CEO Bootcamp. It's exactly this stuff. We're going to go through goal setting, planning, systemizing, SOPs, what tech should support those SOPs, how to delegate to your team if you have one, how to prep for a launch if you're launching something new. All of that's included. It's a combination of a course with modules and templates and live group coaching calls. I'm super excited. It's coming out end of October in 2024. So if you're listening in real time, odds are you could probably hop in. If you are playing catch up on the podcast, then just keep your eyes open. We may have a version of this in the future, but for right now, this cohort is kicking off first week in November. Definitely come check us out, kelseymarieknudsen.com/CEO Bootcamp. I would love to see you in there. And it's really going to take this episode and help you execute on it. Because I know sometimes these things can be really overwhelming and a lot. And I just invite you to join us in. So hope you found this episode helpful. I would love to see you inside of CEO Bootcamp. Do me a favor, if you can think of any business besties that might benefit from something like this, I would love to have them join us as well. Thank you and catch you next week.
Hey, thanks for being a part of the Get Shit Done revolution. My hope is this episode sparked a fire in you, equipped you with some practical next steps, or inspired you to take action towards your goals. If it did, please help spread the word by sharing this episode or leaving a review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you're tuning in. Now it's time for me to hand over the keys and let you get shit done.